In today's video, we are going to discuss about King Solomon's 7 secrets to wealth. Now, if you are familiar with the Bible, then you will understand that King Solomon was one of the richest kings to have ever lived. In fact, the Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles chapter 9 verse 22 that the weight of gold that was in the cities of Solomon's Ophir was 450 talents of gold. Now, we know that these talents were not the common talents, because in the same verse it says that it took ships of Hermon, which brought the gold from Sheba, and it took a year for them to bring the gold. So it had to be an enormous amount of gold, and he had so much wealth that even the Queen of Sheba, who came to visit him, marveled at his riches. Now, some people come up with different theories about how much money this actually translates into today. But whatever the case may be, there is no doubt that King Solomon was extremely rich. So, knowing the fact that King Solomon was so wealthy, in today's video we are going to look at the 7 secrets of King Solomon wealth. Now, I want to point out that while looking at these 7 secrets, I will also give you the biblical references so that you can read more about them in the Bible. So make sure to write these references down and go and read them in your own time. And before we get started, make sure to click on that subscribe button if you have not done so already. And also make sure to click the like button, because that helps me know that you appreciate the work that I am doing here. And lastly, share this message with someone else. It only takes a few seconds, and it will help someone else receive this blessing. So let's get straight into the video now. Number 1, let's look at 1 Kings chapter 10 verses 22. This scripture says that King Solomon surpassed all the kings of the earth in riches and in wisdom. Now, this is very important because Solomon did not just have riches, but he also had great wisdom. And this wisdom helped him to manage his finances. See, having wealth without wisdom is like building a house on shifting sand. And Solomon understood this principle, which made him to be wise in managing his resources. And when he became wise in managing his resources, it led to increase BOYs. So what I am learning here is that if I want to succeed with my finances, I need to develop my mind. I need to read books. I need to listen to podcasts. I need to watch videos and learn about financial management. There are so many free resources out there that you can use today to build your financial knowledge. You don't need to pay anyone to teach you about finance. If you really want to develop yourself in this area, you can go to YouTube and watch videos about financial management. Or you can go to your local library and pick up a book about developing your financial knowledge. And you can do the same thing with your business. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos about business management, and you will see an increase in your sales and your profit. As Solomon managed to increase his wealth, so will you when you seek God and follow his principles. The second secret that we can learn from King Solomon is the fact that he was able to trade with other nations. Now, let's look at Esther chapter 10 verse 22. It says that the merchants of Sheba and merchants of Havilah traded in the king's court. Now, these merchants came from faraway places, bringing valuable commodities with them. and they traded their goods with King Solomon. So what we can learn here is that Solomon didn't just sit in Jerusalem all day. He went out and he found ways to trade with other nations. He had a vast trading network that stretched all the way from Sheba to Ophir. Now, this is very important because international trade is a trillion-dollar industry. And if you want to be successful with your finances, you need to think beyond borders. You need to look for opportunities in other countries because there are so many untapped markets out there that you can enter and make a fortune. I know someone right now watching this message who is afraid of taking risks. Maybe you are afraid of traveling to another country, or maybe you are afraid of starting a business. But you need to know that if you really want to be successful, you need to be willing to take risks. You need to step out of your comfort zone and do something new. And once you start doing that, you will see that God will begin to bless you. Now, the third secret that we need to learn from King Solomon is the fact that he understood the value of hard work. Let's look at Proverbs 14, verse 23. In this scripture, it says that in all labor there is a profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. So, what we can learn from this proverb is that if you want to be successful, you need to work hard. You cannot just sit around and do nothing and expect to be successful. You need to get out there and work. Now, I know someone right now who thinks that they are working hard, but trust me, there are people out there who are working much harder than you. So if you really want to be successful, you need to up your game. You need to find a way to work harder and smarter than the person who is working next to you. When you do this, you will see that your labor will begin to yield profits. The fourth secret that we need to learn from King Solomon is the fact that he invested his resources wisely. Let's look at 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 28. This scripture says that the king had merchant ships at sea with the fleet of Hermon. Once every 3 years, the merchant ships came bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and monkeys. So, what we can learn from this is that Solomon did not just keep his resources to himself. He invested his resources in merchant ships, and he saw a huge return on his investment. The merchant ships brought him riches from all over the world. So, what I am learning here is that if I want to be successful with my finances, I need to invest my money wisely. I cannot just keep my money in the bank and expect it to grow. I need to find ways to invest it and generate more income. Now, I am not saying that you should go out and gamble with your money, because that is not wise. What I am saying is that you need to educate yourself about investing and find ways to invest your money wisely. There are so many safe investment options out there, such as real estate or starting a business. So you need to research and find the best option for you. The fifth secret that we need to learn from King Solomon is the fact that he paid attention to detail. Look at 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 18. It says that the queen had a great fleet of trading ships with the fleet of Hermon. Once every 3 years, the ships came bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and monkeys. And so, what we can learn from this is that Solomon paid attention to detail. He didn't just say, okay, we are going to send some ships out to sea and see what they bring back. No, he was very specific about what he wanted. He wanted gold, silver, ivory, apes, and monkeys. So, what I am learning here is that if I want to be successful with my finances, I need to pay attention to detail. I need to be specific about what I want, and I need to be willing to work hard to achieve it. I cannot just sit around and expect success to fall on my lap. I need to go out and work for it. And when I do this, I will see that God will begin to bless me. The sixth secret that we need to learn from King Solomon is the fact that he was not afraid to ask for help. Look at 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 24. It says that the queen had a great navy with the fleet of Hermon. Once every 3 years, the ships came bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and monkeys. And so, what we can learn from this is that Solomon was not afraid to ask for help. He knew that he could not do everything by himself, so he hired experts to help him with his ships and his trading. So, what I am learning here is that if I want to be successful with my finances, I need to be willing to ask for help. I cannot try to do everything by myself. Sometimes I need to hire people to help me. And when I do this, I will see that my wealth will begin to increase. And lastly, the seventh secret that we need to learn from King Solomon is the fact that he feared God. Look at Proverbs 22 verse 4. It says that riches and honor come from God. Wealth and honor come from his hand. So, what we can learn from this scripture is that if we want to be successful, we need to fear God. We cannot live our lives according to our own desires, but we need to live according to God's will. When we do this, He will begin to bless us. Now, I know that there are so many people out there who say that you can be successful without God, but let me tell you this, you cannot. The Bible tells us that it is God who gives us the ability to make money. So, if you really want to be successful, you need to fear God. You need to put Him first in your life, and He will begin to bless you. I hope that you enjoyed today's message. And if you have not done so already, make sure to click on that subscribe button so that you will be notified whenever I post a new video. Also, make sure to click the like button because that helps me know that you appreciate the work that I am doing here. And lastly, share this message with someone else. It only takes a few seconds, and it will help someone else receive this blessing. So, until next time, I will see you in the next video.